Hi, I'm Doggone. Welcome back to the Utopia Baseball League. Today is Sunday, October the 14th, 2018. We've advanced 9 days since the week and a half since the October 5th update. And I thought I would share updates with you. So let's jump into it. Major transactions. Okay. Starting Saturday, October the 6th, Madison signed Brett Brown in the bullpen to a 4-year extension for $9.1 million. So let's go check out Mr. Brown. Looks like the terms of the contract were 1.4, 1.9, 2.4, and a player option of 3.4. Pretty nice. Promised position, promised role as closer. Interesting. I've never promised a role to a player, I don't think. All this is well under Brown's ARB of $3.9 million. So what did Brown do this year for Madison? He played in 81 games. That's a lot of games. Whip 1.19, 88 K to 45 BBE. Only gave up 3 home runs in 80 innings of work. A 1.01 ERA. Fantastic results this year for Madison. He was a BC brawler last year. Actually, he was toiling down in the BC AAA farm club in Virginia Beach. How did Madison get a hold of him? So Lancaster claimed him off waivers and then traded him in exchange for shortstop prospect Sergio Garrido. Good trade for Madison. He led the league, the East League, in relief appearances with 81. Wow. Really. And led in game appearances with 81. Makes sense, I guess. Awesome. That's fantastic. Fantastic. Let's go back here, major transactions. Now, Key West, we did a bunch of stuff. We extended Manuel Cruz to a 2-year extension of $5 million a year. This is insane for me. Insane, but Cruz delivered. My goodness, he delivered. Look at that scowl. Cruz had a 1.18 ERA, 65 appearances, 68 innings, 37 saves, 62 to 11 strikeout to walk ratio. Only gave up 1 home run in 68 innings. A total of 9 earned runs. 0.79 whip. Opposing batters hit 176 against him. This is Jason Piper of your numbers right here. So Cruz's ARB was 1.18, and his ARB was 4.8 million, something like that. And I just bit the bullet. He was going to make the big bucks, and just bit the bullet. I signed him to 2 years, $5 million and $5 million. It was under his ARB. It was over his 4.8 million ARB at the start of arbitration. Now you see his ARB estimate has climbed to 5.7 million, so it's actually under his ARB as of now. And no options here. Is that right? Did I not do an option? Dang, I guess I didn't. Rats. Okay, well, the risk is that Cruz is fragile. He was healthy this year, but you worry about stuff like that. Yeah, you worry about it. He had a back muscle injury in 2016, but otherwise has been healthy in the last 2 years. Cruz is cruise control. He originally came to our organization to be setup guy for Gonzi, but now has emerged as our closer. So that was Cruz, big $10 million contract. Roger Green, next big item. I did 4 major extensions here. Roger Green was the next. And I signed Roger Green to an extension for several reasons. He's fragile. He's hurt all the damn time. But he's been a parrot head since day one, and he's a darn good defensive center fielder, and great speed. So if he can stay healthy, he'll be good for our club. He can play all 3 outfield positions, and I'm hoping he'll stay healthy and stay in center field for us. I made some mistakes when I did this, and I need to work with OU to get these corrected. I was going on about gaming the contracts in my last video, and I was going through here and double checking on my the contracts I had agreed to on with these players, and I realized I boo-booed on Green. And the reason I did this, here you see his first 2 years are guaranteed at $4 million, $6 million, and then the third season is $9 million team option with I think it's a $2 million buyout. Well, he had asked for a 4-year contract. I think it was 4, 6, 9, and 12. And I just said, make it a 3-year contract and make the third year a team option. And I submitted it to him. And he said it was a good contract and he'd accept it, which surprised me. I thought we were I didn't think there was any way in heck he'd take it. So anyway, this team option, this team buyout probably needs to be 40% of 9.3, so just call it $4 million. So I'll PM OU to bump up the team option to $4 million on that final year of the contract. His ARB was $8 million earlier in the year, and he was asking $9 million a year earlier in the year, and now this ARB in the middle of arbitration has jumped to $12.7 million. Guys who are new to the UBL, be aware that your arbitration estimates will jump during arbitration, and I don't know why. So just be aware of it. This was $8.8 million for probably most of the 2018 season, and 14 days into the arbitration period, it jumps. It's 12.7. It was 8.8 as of October the 5th. So anyway, excuse me. Another thing I wanted to point out: Green's prior salary was a flat salary of $5 million a year over 4 years. It was one of the first major salary contracts that I negotiated when I first joined the UBL, or soon after I joined. I extended him in 2014, and the $5 million a year was, for me, it was a lot, especially for a guy who's got hurt as often as Green did, and he does get hurt. You can see his litany of injuries here. Well, let's go back. 2012, shoulder 2 weeks, hamstring 4 weeks. 2013, ankle 6 weeks, ab strain 3 days. 2014, this was a killer. Broken bone in his elbow, 8 months. That destroyed our season in 2014. But he, I went ahead and extended him, and I thought, if he's going to be an all-star center fielder, $5 million a year is good. It's a price I'm willing to pay. So anyway, and he, sure enough, 2015 he came back, had an all-star year for us, was phenomenal. Not injured at all in 2015, not injured at all in 2016, and 2017 he was had just a tired arm for 5 days, and that was it. 2018, broken bone and elbow. 5 months. Oh well. He did come back finally late in the year. He did help us, or try to help us during the stretch run, but his bat was ice cold and he just didn't do much for us. But I was very reluctant to release him. My original thought throughout the season was simply to keep him at his ARB estimate of $8 million. If I really, felt at the time that he was worth keeping. And it's only been, I'd ask him off and on what he wanted for an extension. It was always ridiculous money. And so I never pursued it any further. And then we got the budget bump. When I got back from vacation, I saw that our budget had increased substantially, and so now I had a chance to extend guys I wanted to extend, like Green, who, when I was in Gatlinburg, I was like, that's one of the decisions I made. I was looking at my salary structure and looking at what Green's ARB was going to be, and I was like, I got to release the guy. I can't even offer him ARB. And in fact, Doe emailed me or PM'd me to say he was interested in Green, and so I started seeing if I could, negotiate a trade of Green up to Winnipeg. And then came the budget breakthrough. So, yep. So Green, and the reason is because I don't think I could get another outfielder of Green's rating, his defensive capabilities, and his speed. It's just not going to be available to me until I pick up somebody in the draft. So anyway, Green is almost irreplaceable, and that's why I went ahead and extended him. And I'll work with OU to fix up his contract. So got egg on my face on this one. Didn't intentionally mean to game the system, but I kind of have. So I'll get his team option buyout bumped up to $4 million from $2 million. That was not all. Let's see. Roger Green, Jason Piper. Piper was an interesting case, and let me pull up his file. Piper, in the fall of 2016, he basically missed almost all of 2016 with bone chips. He performed terribly, and then he had surgery for bone chips. So he basically missed all of 2016. And I went ahead and signed him to an extension because I like Piper a lot. He was, for a while, his mug was my avatar on Oldtopia. And I just like the guy. He's a fierce competitor. His ratings have taken a beating, but he came back in 2017 to have a great year, and then tore up his shoulder. Came back in 2018, had a really good year. And so anyway, here's what I did. He had a 3-year extension for $8.6 million, but this was not just a 2.9, 2.9 flat rate. What I had to do, I had a financial bubble I had to work through in 2018. And so what I did was I structured his contract to be something like 3.5 million, then 1 million, and then 3.1 or something like that. 3.5, does that add up? Something like that. It was a pair of 3 million years sandwiched around a 1 million year. And the back end year, the 3 point something million year, was had a buyout. It was a team option with a buyout. I didn't think he was worth 3.5 million in 2016. So I bought it out. I had the email. You get the email whether you want to execute the team option or not, and I avoided it. I did not execute his team option for 2019. So I avoided that by buying it out, and that was like a one. How much was it? I don't know, 700, 800,000. No, more than that. 20%, 3 million. Yeah, I don't know, 600, 700,000 something. So I went ahead and paid him the lump sum to buy out his contract. And almost immediately after doing that, I thought, he performed really well for us this past year. I wonder if he will take a 2-year extension of, at reasonable money. And so I offered him 2 years for a total of $3 million, with the second year being a team option with the buyout. And he took it. He didn't think about it very long at all. He took it. It took 4 days for him to think about it, and he took it. And maybe I'm a liar. I thought for sure I had a team option in that final year. I guess I didn't. Man. I must have done something today that I didn't realize. Oh well. Well, there you have it. He's instead of paying him the 3.x million for the upcoming 2019 season, I spread the $3 million out across next season and the following season. So, and his ARB estimate, $3.9 million. So, I'm not sure if I clevered myself right out of some money here, or if this was a smart thing to do. Anyhow, so that's Jason Piper. This guy. It's been one weird contract with him after another. So, I'm pleased to get him at $1.5 million a year, even with the buyout. I think it's money well spent. He's a real fierce competitor. Okay, and man, I'm really about to keel over. Let's. Okay, 2 more players to talk about. Madison extended Damon King, their catcher, to a $4.6 million 1-year contract. And after a lot of soul searching, I offered Juan Lopez a 2-year extension. 2-year extension, boy. He made $12 million a year for the past 4 years, including 2018. This was another one of the big contracts I drew up before 2015. And I can't remember if I think Juan Lopez was he had a team option in his final year in 2018. I think I executed the team option. But anyway, so after paying $12 million a year for him for 4 years, I've been wondering when I could unload his salary. And I certainly was planning to. Every day of the season, I was planning to release Juan Lopez at the end of the year, or let him go to free agency. Because every time I talked to him about an extension, he was asking ridiculous money. Well, I got the budget boom and had money. And I looked at him. I looked at his ratings and what he's done for our city and our ball club. And I thought, 2018 may have been the best chance ever to get him into the UBL Championship Series, but I'd sure like a chance to get him, another chance to get him into the UBL Championship. So I offered him a 2-year, $26.3 million contract with a second year as a team option, and he took it. Fan interest or fan response was mixed. Some of my fans said, let's see if I can go find it here. Nope, that ain't it. Utopia newspaper. Yeah, fans were divided. Many were enthusiastically behind the signing. Others worried about his age. He's 34, man. He's 34. But yeah, his age is a Definite question mark. By the way, Juan Ramos, Pitcher of the Year for 2018. And very well deserved. What a tremendous year by this guy. Yep, I've said it. I need to shut up talking about it because it's pretty amazing. All right, one more thing. I guess that's it. Those are the major contracts extensions so far in the off season. And I released XPad and also Roberto Gaete. I was in love with Gaete during 2017, but in spring training of 2016, he didn't do much for us, and he had a $1 million+ contract, and I released him. Expedia, he was a free agent pickup late in the season for me, and I'm glad I picked him up. He hit 300 for us down the stretch, but he is asking ridiculous money. His ARB was like 3-point-something million. And now that he's a free agent, he's asking 7-point-something million. Are you kidding me? He's worth a flyer at $2 million, but yeah, I don't know about no $7 million. Anyway, Expedia. If nobody picks him up, I'll be looking for him late in the year again on a minimum contract or something. Another thing I didn't mention in my previous overview of the arbitration period. Richmond signed a bunch of guys to 1-year extensions. Fascinating. Fascinating. I've never had much luck signing a player to a 1-year extension, but maybe I ought to look into that. All right. Let's see. Oh, there it is. A $1 million buyout of Piper's final team option final year. $1 million buyout. Then I immediately turn around and pay him $1.5 million for next year. So it's costing me $2.5 million for next year plus $1.5 the following. I don't know. I just saw it as a way to buy down his salary and get it back to something reasonable and sane. Alrighty. Well, so Key West and Madison had a few moves in this go round, and I'll be back again when we have more to talk about. I'll talk to you next time.